Okay, before I start this one, um, I just want to make sure I'm perfectly clear with you all. Okay? I am never going to ask anyone if they ever called or if they ever did anything about this. You all, you people that are not involved with this. I am never, ever going to ask you all if you all ever did anything. That's between you and Almighty God. I am only putting the information out there for a couple of reasons. One, to give you a chance to be obedient to Almighty God. Give you a chance for your faith to grow. Now, I understand I am tap dancing on a lot of y'all's toes. A lot of you all are having a problem with this because of what I am saying. But it's what, do you not believe your eyes? Now, I'm not saying, oh, somebody has to do something about this. I am saying something is going to be done with about this. It's already over with. It's done. Why am I going through all this? For you, so that your faith can grow. So that you can know that if Almighty God tells you to do something, you can do it. You should have no fear in doing this. Okay? They have known about this for going on 19 years now. Okay? And yet all the information still exists. That's Almighty God, folks. Nothing, no physical harm has come to me. They can't touch me. I am walking in the will of Almighty God. This was not only done to me, this is mocking Almighty God. Folks, remember, they took an oath. When I say they, all of these people took an oath to serve us, to serve Almighty God by serving us, to make sure that this very thing doesn't happen. Now, because they didn't do their job, they're trying to lay it all on me, as well as lay it all on Mallory D. Cooper. No, folks, this is over and done with. This is over and done with. I am not trying to make anyone look bad. I had no idea that this was going on. But as soon as I found out what was being done to me, this is preventing me from serving my God. It's preventing me from living. It is a threat to my physical well-being. And it's been resolved. These people are going to prison. Now, the biggest thing that I'm stepping on people's toes is this. I'm doing something about it. I'm not crying. I'm not screaming. I'm not demanding that something be done. I am doing something about it. And I'm not doing what man says. I'm doing what my God says. So again, call, don't call, makes no difference to me. You are seeing this so that your Almighty God is dealing with each and every one of you individually about something. And He is going to be glorified. I am just honored that I have the opportunity to bring glory and honor to my God's name. He is using me as an instrument, because remember, folks, I have a free will just like you do. Just like you can choose to call or don't call, you can choose to go or don't go. I could choose to sit down and say, "Oh, I'm scared," or shake my fist at God and say, "Why did you let this happen to me?" Hey, it happened. Okay, what do we do? What do we do, God? There's a reason why this happened, and you are the reason why this happened. It was, I am custom built for this situation. There will be no deals. There will be no backing down. These people will be removed because they are a threat to everyone. And I am not against the law enforcement. In fact, law enforcement isn't against me. They have been waiting for someone like me to come in because they can't do anything because all the corruption is at the highest level. Judges, the chiefs, it's at the highest level. So they need someone like me who has done nothing. The reason why they get away with it all the time is because, one, the person has done something wrong. So there was a reason to, at the very least, detain him. I haven't done anything wrong. Then the entire record is a lie. There was no reason for any of it. So now I found out about it. And why did it take so many years? Hey, that's ask God. But the fact that it's taken as long, and the fact that they're not doing anything about it, tells you how big this is. Well, something is going to be done. Because again, it's all on me. Okay? So, there we go. That what they if they did this right, what would happen is this document would be destroyed. All of the this document would be destroyed, and along with all of the other, all of these documents that has no reason to for their existence, which proves their guilt, which documents the fact that they didn't do their job, which is why they're going through all this. So it would not be, none of this would exist. They would destroy it, and the only thing that would exist would be would be this in the court records book. So if I ever went back and said, "Hey, this happened, this happened, this happened," there would be no record. They would say, "Well, what are you talking about?" They would just keep lying. But you see, and this is the steps that they've taken. Okay? And again, this bond is the reason why. Now I'm under their control. This document is mine. I paid $2,500 of it. It's now sitting at this insurance company. All I have to do is request it. And as soon as I pull this out, they all go to prison because it's still an active bond. Okay? So, because of this forced their hand. So what do? Step one, they have to remove me from the equation because I'm going to challenge everything. Okay? Step one, make me believe that it has been resolved and I can go on with my life. That's what they did right here on December 15th. As soon as, okay, that's what they did. The fake judge, this little punk, and the fake judge, the guy that's impersonating the judge, lied to me, said, "Hey, all the charges have been dropped, and hey, if you look into this, if you look into this, we may revisit these trials again." Well, this is not. This documents me committing no crime, but it documents all of their crimes. Plain and simple. Okay? They need this to go poof. They need it to burn up. Okay? So, step one, check. They got me out the way. They lied to me. They tell me to move. Now, also, real quick, it says on bond, and the bonding company has been notified by letter to produce the principal in county court, courtroom number J1, 2 p.m., 1/6/1998. That's keeping them in check so that the bond company doesn't say, "Hey, this is wrong. We're going to do the right thing." Well, guess what? There's your chance to do the right thing. You didn't do the right thing because they never, again, this bonding company never contacted me. That's their job, is to communicate with me. And again, this bond is still active today. And they are in no rush to do anything about it because it doesn't document a crime. It documents all of their crimes. Okay? So, step 2, move all of the felony documents that have been filed with the felony clerk over to the misdemeanor clerk. Again, that is what this does. It moves it over. Oh, we're going to transfer this over, and blah 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 blah. And I already explained to you what happened. Their little guy. They what they need to do. Well, okay. After they moved all of the documents, so now there is no physical documents over in the felony case file. Don't believe me? Well, this is the felony case file, and there are the front page. This is the arrest and booking report. No narrative section. This and this. That's all that's in the felony case file. Okay? So they moved it all over. All of these documents, they said they're going to transfer it over to misdemeanor. But they never, ever, ever intend. They want to destroy all this stuff. So now this little punk is holding all of the documents. Okay? He's got all of the documents, and they put them in a folder, because as soon as if they do it right, they're just going to destroy it, because it'll put them all into prison. Okay? So then they rewrite the 2-count felony arrest and booking report 97995 as a 1-count misdemeanor arrest and booking report 97995, and insert this number into the clerk of the court system, making it look as if it was always a misdemeanor arrest. Because remember, folks, this is the number that has already been inserted into the clerk of the court system. This is the number that they need an outcome on. That's the number. And until that number, to the clerk of the courts, is just a number. Until that number has a final outcome, there's going to be a question. People are going to be questioning it. But the problem is, this number has been listed as a felony when it doesn't document me committing any kind of crime. So what they have to do is they just take that same number and they say, you know what? It was never a felony. It was now a misdemeanor. So they've reinserted the number. So now you've got this very same number over as the felony, or as a felony, as well as that. First it's listed as a felony. Now it's listed as a misdemeanor, a 1-count misdemeanor. Don't believe me? Well, I already showed you the rest. Here they are, right here, both of them. I already showed you this. That's documents that they did it. That document, this is from the clerk of the court's office. They reinserted it again 2 times. This is the same arrest and booking report number. Okay? So they're saying, oh, this never really happened, so we're going to forget about this, because remember, the felony clerk's office and the misdemeanor, or the circuit and the county clerk's office, don't communicate with each other. As far as the felony is concerned, it's over with. They just taken this case and moved it over to misdemeanor. So then step 4 is to set up a 1/6/1998 sentencing hearing date for the rewritten misdemeanor arrest and booking report, making it look like it has already been ruled on. Again, this is all happening without my involvement. They got rid of me on December 15th. So now it's all done on paper. When you control, the state attorney's office controls all the information. The only way that this information gets to the clerk is through the state attorney's office. I can't do it. You can't do it. They are the ones that insert the information. So any information that's inserted is inserted by the state attorney. Okay? So now they just reinsert it and make it look like that, hey, this guy pled no contest on the 4th, and his sentencing date is the 6th. Well, just so happens that there's also 2 other people that have the sentencing date for the same crime that's listed on my 1-count misdemeanor arrest and booking report on 1/6/1998. Okay? Same guys. And if you don't believe me, let's zoom in real quick. Case disposition date 1/6/1998. And these two guys were arrested on 12/4/1997. Their first appearance was on 12/5/1997. Oh, and the file date. The file date is the date that of the first appearance, the date that the charges were filed, initial beginning. The disposition date is the finalization of the date. Okay, these two guys are there. They were charged. They committed the very same one count misdemeanor charge that I did, but it was filed on 12/5. And their disposition date was 1/6/1998. So now what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to sneak me in and make it look like that this took place, that the very same thing took place, only it happened a day before, a day earlier, on 12/4, on my first appearance. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. So, that's what they're going to try to do. Okay? So, and then step 5, well, shred the Constitution, rape and eviscerate me, while they all mock Almighty God. Now, they've gotten to that point. Every step of the way, they could have anybody could have stepped up and said, you know what, this is wrong. What we're doing is wrong. But please notice, I have been out of the picture since September 15th. I have not been involved in anything that they're doing, nor is there a record of me doing anything in being involved. But again, Almighty God says, nope, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna move it from the Honorable Mallory over to the Honorable Mallory D. Cooper's office, and what we're gonna do is she's gonna rule on it. Now, what happens at a sentencing date? At a sentencing hearing, here's what happens. It's just the adjudication is applied. Either you're adjudicated guilty, or you're adjudicated guilty, or the adjudication of guilt is withheld. Okay? You're either found innocent, guilty, or the adjudication of guilt is withheld, which is what happened with everybody else. Let's go back. See right here. I am the only one that was adjudicated guilty. Okay? Everybody else had the adjudication of guilt withheld. You're looking right at it, folks. Okay? And this is right from the clerks of the court's office. And that's also what the case files say. So, the Honorable Mallory D. Cooper would have never. What's in front of her is there's an envelope, a folder with all of these fake, all the smoking guns are in that file. On top of that is the rewritten arrest and booking report and the made up charges to make it look like this stuff or something similar, to make it look like that this has already been before a judge. The judge found me guilty, and then I had to go through something that takes 30 days to do. And now the only decision that the Honorable Mallory D. Cooper has to make is whether or not to apply the adjudication of guilt, or adjudicate me guilty, or withhold the adjudication of guilt. That's all it takes 5 seconds. Now, personally, I think that this whole thing is a lie. I think that she withheld the adjudication, and because this was my very first criminal offense of any kind. So why in the world would they adjudicate me guilty? Well, all of that's explained over in the other videos. Okay, but as soon as it got to her, in other words, this is a lie. This is redone as well, is what I'm telling you. I do not believe that she adjudicated me guilty, because again, it was the very first offense. Okay, now they're having a cow because what happens is the state attorney's office takes the folder with the fake rewritten arrest and booking report, the uh, all of these, the bond, this, 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 okay, takes all of that along with the fake misdemeanor, refiled misdemeanor stuff, and plops it down on the desk of the misdemeanor clerk's office. They didn't go through this. It was the sentencing is that quick. Okay, it's usually done first thing, first part of the day. First part, the very first things that the court does is sentence people. Okay, and nor do I believe that it happened in J1. Okay, I don't think it happened. J1 is at the jail. Okay, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's in the record book as happening. Now all of these documents got filed. That's why they're in the misdemeanor case file. So now what do they have to do? Now the criminals, they can't destroy everything because it's now it's been before the Honorable Mallory D. Cooper. Now she's going to say, here, state attorney's office, file it. And her state attorney filed it. So now they've got to come up with what's being filed. All the smoking guns. They got to come up with a reason as to why this exists. Why is this in here? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? That's when they are forced to make the felony case file and the misdemeanor case file. They have to create a paper trail, but they just don't know how to do it. Now, this arrest and booking report is not it doesn't document me committing a crime. So they can't, this crime does not exist. And if this happens, it is a violation of this, but in order for this to happen, as well as in order for this to happen, you need a victim, and they don't have a victim. So what they do is they name it the real thing, the actual thing, which requires an actual victim, which again, there is no arrest and booking report for. Okay? So this is an entire lie. And again, why is there a $25,003 bond? Well, where is it? Because it's not in the felony case file. This is all that's in it. And again, this is state attorney's office copy. What is the state attorney's office copy doing in the clerk of the courts? And again, this was never filed because again, if this is filed, they all going to go to prison. And why is it given a 1998 case file? To hide it some more. They're trying to hide it, but they're forced. Their hand is being forced now. They got to come up with this kind of stuff. So again, how come there's no record of me being in court for either the felony case as well as the misdemeanor case, and proof that they rewrote it is the arrest and booking report. That's the same arrest and booking report number right there as is in the misdemeanor case file. And I already showed you on the arrest search, folks. It's this. Here it is. I was arrested twice on 12/3/1997, and one of them is for the misdemeanor case file. I'm not going to zoom in because y'all have already seen it. Okay. Let's see. Can y'all see that? Yeah, there you go. 1998. One more time. Let's see if I can get in. There we go. That's the case file. And it clearly lists two different arrests. One count misdemeanor. There's the rewritten arrest and booking report. There is the felony, supposed felony. Why doesn't it say felony? Because it's not a real arrest and booking report. And this is documentation that they rewrote a false arrest and booking report, which, oh, by the way, is not in here. There is no arrest and booking report that says that I committed any crime on 12/3/1997. Okay? So now what we're going to do is, so they're running around like chickens with their head cut off. They're caught. They're caught. And they still refuse to admit anything. Why? Because now they've just lied to the judge. And now the Honorable Mallory D. Cooper is on the hook, left holding the bag for all of their crimes. And folks, let's not forget, because of what they did, all of these attorneys, all of these judges, all of these law enforcement officers stop being law enforcement officers, stop being judges, and stop being attorneys. That means any action that they do now, they know they do not have the authority or the legal authority or any type of authority to do it, meaning all of their actions are null and void. And somebody did something that resulted in the murder of an 8-year-old child. And who are they left holding the bag for that? The Honorable Mallory D. Cooper. Because she is justifying all that. Because there is no record of anyone committing this, violating this statute on 12/3/1997. Anywhere. Not in Jacksonville, Florida. And that was documented by this arrest search. It's rewritten. It doesn't exist. This search was for that specific statute that's over there. Okay, so now they're running around like chickens with a head cut off, and they've just documented themselves. Now they've got to explain why all this is in there. They are stuck. There's nothing that they can do. They can't destroy any of this stuff because because it's already out of their control. Mainly because of this bond. Because of this bond, this is mine. Okay, this is mine. If I ever ask for this, I paid $2,500 for this. If I just go down to this place, oh, by the way, they moved. They're no longer at the addresses listed there. They moved, which is really kind of odd. Okay, same company name, but they moved from that place. Okay, if I ever contact them, then if I ever get this, they have to explain. It clearly says it was for a felony arrest. And they can't destroy this because it's in the record now listed as this is the original first arrest and booking report. That's the reason why this exists, and that's the reason why all these other documents that have now been filed and are sitting in a misdemeanor case file is being filed with the court. It's been documented already. So they're stuck. Okay? They can't destroy this because the JSO needs to hang on and have a reason for this arrest report. They cannot leave the rewritten arrest report in the misdemeanor case file, which is why it's not in here. Okay? They are stuck. It's been documented. And it was on 1/6/1998 that they knew that this day was going to come. They knew that. Because what happens next? They are so busy running around making up these fake case files that they forget that the judge ordered Mallory D. Cooper ordered court charges to be paid. So they're too scared, running around, too busy trying to figure out a reason as to why all this took place, that they forget to pay the court costs. And that's really where it snowballs. And that's what we're going to cover in our next video. Folks, they have been knowing that this day was going to come since 1/6/1998, when all of this was filed and all of their crimes were documented. And they were kind enough to provide all of the information. And the clerk of the court was kind enough to report and record all of the information that they, and only they, can insert into the court, into the clerk of the court. because the state attorney's office controls all the information.